All right, we are YouTube live. Mary, she would be here right now. She's always early.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody has any requests today? No? All right, let's see what I want then. Okay, start out.
What is it you want?
Let's start out with 2 chord clocks, top of the map. I'm going to start with some standing today. Hands on your blocks. Let's do left foot back, right foot forward outside the block. Turn your toes out a little bit. Good. Stay really high on the back toes. Front leg pretty straight too. Shoulder blades pulled back away from the ears. Let's try that. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears a little bit. And then slide shoulders back away from the ears. Keep them there. This raise, engage, drop your chest down into shoulder girdle. And pick the ribs back up. Find a happy medium between those two so your ribs are supported. Drop the back heel back to the mat. Push into the toes, bring it up. Do it again, drop the back heel back. Push into the toes, bring it up. One more time, drop back. Stay high in the back toes. Bend the front knee, very strong, long back leg. Keep your back quad flexed so that leg stays real straight. Try to drop your hips below the chest. Good. Roll the shoulders back. You can put a baby bend in your elbows. Keep the right toes turned out. Push into that right foot. Bring the hips back. Keep the back as flat as you can. Do it again. Bend the front knee. Keep the back leg strong. Try to keep that quad flexed. Lift the quad up. Good. Bring it back. Do it again one more time. Keep it forward. Bring it forward. Keep really strong from back inner heel through the psoas, through the top of the head. Bend your elbows a little bit, sit deeper into that stretch, but try to keep that back leg pretty straight. Good, come all the way back up. Good. Roll your left hip open, hips are going to face left. And then roll left hip forward, right hip back. Feel like you're putting left frontal hip into right groin. Roll it open. Good, roll it back. 3 more like that. Roll the hip open. Roll left hip forward, right hip back. Last 2, roll open. Roll it forward, hold. Bring your right arm up, twist. That's it. Bring your arm overhead. Use the bottom shoulder blade pulling down. Pick your ribs up, pregnant ribs on the top side. Then bring the arm back, drop the back heel back. You can bend the front knee if it helps. Okay, bring the arm overhead, push through back toes, lift your ribs, stretch. Bring it back. Good. Inhale on the way up. And exhale, reach through the back heel. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, reach back. Last one.
You're not
Inhale up.
bending your knee, right? Your leg is staying straight.
Leg is staying straight, yeah. And bring it back. You can bend the front knee if you want. Back leg is straight. Okay, when you're here, bring the arm even with the hip. Try to roll the shoulder down. Feel your back hip level, so your hip's not back or forward. It's level with the right hip. And then bring your hand back to the block. Bend that front knee, strong back leg. Keep the back leg straight. And put the back knee into the mat. Bend your knee. Straighten the front leg. Come back, spread your toes out, try to pull the hips back, sitting bones back. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands to the left. Turn your left foot to the right. Sitting bones back and apart, dragging away from this heel. Good, and bring it back forward. Okay, heel toe the right foot inside the block. So now you're going to have your knee and your foot hip width apart. Drop the hips forward in a crescent shape with the hips. Good. Try to have your knee over the metatarsals. So you're not back here with the knee back by the heel. See, you're going to have your knee passing the heel a little bit. The balance is in the front of the foot, in the metatarsals. Okay, tuck the back toes. Reach through the back leg, pick up the back leg. Feel that quad push up. That quad is in the front of the leg, flexing. Okay? Push through the front leg. That quad engages to lift hips. Take it all the way back. Hips back, shoulders back, top of the head forward, chin up into your own throat. Push high into the back foot, toes high. Start bending the front knee, stay long as you come down. Drop your hips below the ribs. Keep the back leg as straight as you can. Bring it back up. So same thing we were doing before, but a narrow stance. One more time, bend the front knee, drop the back hip down, hold. Push in the front leg a little bit more. See if you can find your balance. Bring your arms back. Inhale, arms up. exhale, bring your right arm to the back of the left thigh. Reach through that right arm. And bring your left arm, bring your left elbow to the right thigh. Hands in prayer. Twist. You have to put the back knee down, you can. You want to stay in your standing posture, stay there. Right hand pushes into left and pick your ribs up. Breathe. Good. Bring hands back to your blocks. Put the back knee down. Come on to the top of the back foot. Okay, we're going to play with engaging that quad. Trying to play with what we started last week a little bit. I want you to push into the top of the foot. My knee's off the mat. I'm just wearing the big pants today. To lift up. And bring it back down. One more time. Just see if you can find that little bit of engagement in your quad. You can push into the front foot too. Use both quads. Lift up. Lift your belly upwards up a little. And come right back down. Good. Now tuck the toes. Same quad engagement with toes tucked. Really use that back leg. Strong back leg. Push into the front foot. Very nice. Roll the hips open again from here. Roll back hip forward. 2 more like that. Roll open. Roll the back hip forward. Strong back foot. Roll it open. Roll the back hip forward. Roll to the outer arch of your front foot. So your front foot's going to look like it's going to sickle a little bit. Just for a second. See if that doesn't help you drop the hip back a little further. Then keeping hip back, flatten your foot back down to the ground. Good job. Okay, bend the front knee. Strong back leg. Come toward a plank position. Step the front foot back into plank. High plank, low belly in. Good. Pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Bend your left knee, bring it forward. Turn the knee out. Step next to your blocks. Good. Your foot is outside the blocks to start. Toes turned out about 45 degrees, knee outside the foot. And then strong back leg, straighten the front leg if you can. Okay, drop the back heel down. Bring it right back up, just working that back foot. Drop the heel down, bring it right back up. While that movement happens, you should still have your core supported. Shoulders are back, serratus engaged, a little bit of lift in middle abs. Drop the back heel down. Both quads are lifted away from the knee. One more. Come all the way up. Now roll your right hip open. Hips both open to the right. Roll right frontal hip forward into left groin. Roll it open. Hips open to right. Roll right frontal hip into left groin. 2 more. Roll it open. Roll right hip forward. Last one. Roll it open. Roll forward. Hold. Bring your left arm up into a twist. Bring the arm overhead. Feel that bottom shoulder blade come down under ribs to pick your ribs up on the left side. And then reach the arm back, reach the heel back. Do it again. Bring it up. You can bend the front knee if you need to. Bring it back, reach the back, heel back. 2 more. Pick it up. Suck the belly up out of the front of both hips. And then reach it back. Inhale up. Reach back. Last one. Inhale up. Hold. Bring the arm back. Keep high on the back toes. Square the chest and the hips to the ground. So your right hip's not open or closed. It's right in the middle, even with left. Bring your hand back to the block. Good. Slowly lower the back knee to the mat. Good. Sit back. Bring your hands to the floor. Sweep the right foot in. Walk your hands back. Leave the foot out there, stretching the sitting bones away from that leg. Good. You should feel the groin. Spread your toes out if you can. Nice. Bring it back forward. Sweep the foot back. Bend the front knee. Heel toe your left foot inside the block. So now your knee, back knee, and the front foot are hip width apart. And make sure that front knee can pass the heel so that balance lives in the metatarsals. If you're back here in the heel, you can't balance, plus you got a lot of weight in that back knee. So bring your weight forward into the front leg, come into that stretch of the back leg. Good. Tuck the back toes. Reach through the back leg. Very nice. Push through the front leg to come up. Shoulders are back, top of the head forward, chin up into your own throat. Push high into the back toes. Bend the front knee, think of a plank in that whole right side of your body as you come down, then drop hips lower. Good, put the knee down. Do it again, pick the back leg up, feel that quad, push through the front leg. Very nice. Bring it back long, push through the back foot, long neck, shoulders are back, bring it all the way down. And last one, push through back foot, bring the hips back. Roll your hip open, hips open to the right. Roll right hip forward, left hip back. 2 more, roll it open. Roll right hip forward, left hip back. Last one, roll right hip open. Right hip forward, left hip back, hold. Roll to the outer arch of your left foot a little bit. See if that doesn't help you hug that left hip back further. Don't go too far. And keeping left hip back, can you flatten the foot out? Maybe you have to unlock the knee. You want to feel the knee joint open. You don't want to feel a lot of energy stuck in a closed joint in that knee. Very good. Go ahead and bend the front knee. Keep the back leg strong. See if you can find your balance here. Bring the arms back. Both feet push away from each other for now. Then suck your belly up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm to right thigh. Keep ribs in the body. Bring right elbow to left knee. Hands in prayer to find your twist. If you need to put the back knee down, go ahead and do that. Knee should be over the metatarsals, not the heel. Push left hand into right. Pick your ribs up off the thigh to twist. Inhale. Exhale, long and even. One more breath. And bring it back. Hands to your block. Very nice. Put the back knee down. Put the top of the foot into the mat. Going to practice engaging the quad of the back leg. Don't let your glutes squeeze when you do this, or you're really putting a lot of pressure into the knee. So keep a little lift in your hands, a little lift by pushing through the front leg, press into the top of the back leg. Try to feel that quad engaged. Good. Suck the belly up. Let it come down soft. One more time. Push into the top of the back foot. Feel quad. Don't squeeze glutes. Put it back down. Good. Now tuck toes. Same thing. Feel the quad. Help straighten that leg back. Don't squeeze your glutes. Push through the left leg. Very good. Roll the hip open. Roll it back forward. Stay long. Bend the front knee. Think plank with that right side and step your left foot back. How are we doing? Take the ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Press your blocks away. Hips come up and back. Step your feet to the floor. Good. Feet are under hips. Blocks are a little in front of shoulders. Drop the hips back as far behind your heels as you can. Keep your serratus pulling the shoulder blades down to the floor, around the sides of the ribs, and also back. That should put pressure into your hands. Top of the head forward, chin in and up into your own throat. Breathe. Think of your floating ribs coming down a bit. Bend both knees. Roll to the outside of your feet a little bit. Open knees a little bit. So we're going to outer foot right now. See if that doesn't help you drop hips back further. Straighten your right leg a little further back, staying in the outer foot. Feeling that IT band in the outside of the leg. Switch, bend both knees, straighten the left leg back, stay in the outer foot. Good, come back to the middle. Straighten both legs, drop your head down through the arms. Breathe. Good, go ahead and bend the knees. Sitting bones back. Let your ribs rest on your thighs. Try to bring your ribs as far forward on the thighs as you can. Okay, so floating ribs forward on your thighs. Once you're there, bring your hands straight back. Roll the shoulders back, chin in, top of the head forward, back of the neck filled in. Try to bring your hips down until your quads are parallel, upper leg is parallel to the ground. Good, sweep arms forward, hips further back. Spread the toes, keep the big toe down. Good, and then hands reach back, hips up, keep your ribs connected to the thighs as you go into your forward bend. Interlace the fingers behind you. Squeeze fingers into each other, but pull wrists apart, flattening hands open, and drop the arms back. Shoulder heads get to roll forward. And head comes up, that's going to feel like a shortening in your neck, then drop head back down. Reach the arms up, feel those two go apart. Hands to the ceiling, top of the head to the floor. Good, bend the knees, sweep the arms forward, stand all the way up, inhale. Exhale, hands into prayer. How are we doing? All right? Okay, think of rolling to the outside of the foot for a minute, lifting inner foot, curl your toes in. Got to balance on your outer feet. That's it, curl your toes in. Good, now go the other way. Roll all the way to inner foot, put the big toe down, get those outer feet to lift. Good. Now find a happy medium between those. Pinky side of the foot grabbing the mat, big toe grabbing the mat. Really feel your feet root across the floor. Put a soft bend in knees, lift your low belly up, inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, dive down into your forward bend. Inhale, flat back, come up. And then drop hands to the mat. Exhale, step or jump back to down dog. Spread the fingers out quite a bit. Feel like you're pulling them out apart with your hands from the serratus, from underneath the armpit, the muscles that run along the ribs. Pull the hands wide with that. Outer spiral arms, and feel like you're pulling shoulders back, away from the ears, away from the neck, which puts more weight in hands. Then drop the chest back, keeping shoulders pulled back. Top of the head long. Think of lifting quads up away from the floor. Try to lift your toes off the mat. Even if heels are in the air, try to lift toes. With a soft bend in the knees, reach your hips further back, sitting bones back. Good. And then try to bring toes and heels both down. Reach your left leg straight back and up. Open up your left hip. Drop your chest further back. Lift the right quad, lift your left quad. Point your left toes. Really engage. Feel from your left ribs all the way through the foot. Pick ribs up into the back body a little bit if they're dumped. Roll your left hip down into the mat. Bring the knee in toward your nose, keeping sitting bones back. Start coming forward. Come high up to the right toes. Pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Come all the way forward, put the knee down. Good. Slide the other foot back. Try to come down inside the left ankle. Good. How are we doing? Try to put the front of the right hip as close to the ground as you can. There we go, guys. Inhale. Exhale, long and even. Okay, let's bring it up. Turn your right foot or your left foot across the mat. Walk the foot forward a little bit until your foot's in pigeon. And then use your hand, use your plank on that right side. Hop the left knee back a little. Top of the foot into the mat. Good, how are we doing? So you're in pigeon prep on that left leg. Roll your right hip in. Right frontal hip come into your left groin. And also shift your weight left a little over that left hip. At the same time, push down through the top of the left foot a little. And then roll it back open. Do it again. Roll right frontal hip in. Move over to the left. You should feel your left hip turning on. And then square the hips. Good. Reach all the way back through the right foot. Heel back. And try to put that quad down into the mat. Top of the foot on the floor. Good. You can use blocks if you need to for your elbows. It's actually all try blocks even if you don't think you need to. Put them out in front. Put your elbows out to the side. Hand over forearm. And put your forehead on your forearms. Press down through elbows just a little bit. Try to make that come from serratus. Your shoulder blades wrapping around the side of the rib cage. Pick up your middle abs and your low belly a little bit. Inhaling. Push down in the left knee. Feel both groin muscles pull in toward each other. Square your hips a little bit more. And then let that go. Let your ribs drop down. Let your chest drop. Do it again. Press your elbows to pick ribs up. Inhale. As you exhale, pull groin muscles toward each other. Push down in the left knee like you're raising hips up. And then let that go. Very good. Bring your left hand to the mat. Your right elbow can go either to the mat or it can stay on your block. You're going to twist the upper body toward the left, toward the knee of the stretching leg. Right elbow stays wide in front of the foot. Keep pressure in the hand to help pick your ribs up. Suck the low belly up as you twist. And then come back down. Good. Do it again. Push through that left hand. Pick the ribs up. Suck the belly back. Think of hollowing the chest. And come back down. One more time. Pick it up. Inhale. Exhale. Release it back down. Very good. You can move your blocks in front, out of your way. Hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes. Push into the foot, walk the knee forward, retuck the toes in a shoulder position so you're in a plank on the right side. Kick up your ribs, push into the top of your right foot to pick the knee up, then step back. Good. Go ahead and pedal it out, feel out the hips. Sitting bones back and up. Notice the ribs. If you're really dumping your ribs a lot and you've got a big shoulder stretch, you don't need that. You need the opposite. Pick your ribs up, make them even with back body, pull your serratus apart more, chin in, top of the head forward. If you're very domed, go ahead and let your ribs drop a little further back. You can bend knees if you need to, sitting bones back. Okay, let's lift your right leg up and back. Open up the hip, point your toes. I want engagement in the foot. Or you can point, which is a point in the ankle and a pulling back in your toes. Either one, I don't care. Lift both quads up, really engage quads. Drop your chest back. Think of picking up the ribs into the back body even though you're here. Chin in, breathe. Roll your right hip all the way down, even with the left. Then bring the knee into the nose, keep sitting bones back. Start coming forward, pick ribs up into the shoulder girdle, pushing the ground away. Come high onto the left toes, keep the back dome, suck the belly up. Bring the knee to the ground, slide the other foot back. Just let your left foot come to the floor, try to be inside the heel. Good. Just opening up the left hip, left side a little bit. This is kind of the easy way. Once you start bringing that foot across or pigeon, that's going to start incorporating this hip into the stretch. But first open the left frontal hip a little. Good. This is hopefully not much for anybody. Let's walk the foot forward, reestablish your plank. Bring the foot forward, knee open. Okay, once you get the top of the foot stuck to the mat, then you can hop your knee further back. Okay. Okay. Find your plank, so you're kind of high here. Open up the left hip, then bring left frontal hip into your right groin and shift your hips left. You really feel that right hip turn on, right, excuse me. Left frontal hip into right groin, shift your hips right. Should feel that right hip turn on, right hip is back, away from ribs. Good. Bring it back to the center, open up the hip. One more time, shift left frontal hip into the right, bring your hips over to the right, sit back a little bit. Feel that stretch? Come to the center. All right, walk the knee back, put your quad on the mat as far back as you can in your stretch. And stay upright for a minute. Take a breath or two here. You're working on putting that left frontal hip into the mat. Okay, bring your blocks back. Put the forearms on the blocks at first. Elbows on the blocks, I guess it is. Forearms that are overlapped. Put your forehead on the forearms. Decently out in front, enough that you feel like your spine is long, but also you have enough room to pick up ribs and make some slack in the spine. Breathe here. As you press down through elbows, think of your collarbones kind of folding in half, your ribs coming up into the back body. Inhaling. As you exhale, suck the belly back. And then roll left frontal hip more to the mat. Release your ribs back down. Do it again. Press down through serratus and elbows. Pick your ribs up. Pick up the middle abs. Inhale. Push down through that right knee a little bit. As you exhale, roll your left frontal hip to the mat. Bring ribs forward and back down. Get longer in your spine. One more time. Push down through elbows. Pick ribs and middle abs up. Inhale. Hug groin muscles in toward each other. Lift your low belly higher. Really engaging the right hip. And then exhale, disengage it. Good. Keep your left elbow on the ground, on the block. Bring your right hand right in front of the right knee. Okay, you're going to twist toward the stretching side. So push into the right hand. Keep your elbow a little forward to keep the ribs and serratus open here. And then pick those right ribs up out of the hip. Inhale. Exhale, drop it back down. Do it again. Inhale, pick up the right ribs. Suck the belly back into that right hip, rolling toward the mat. Exhale, bring it down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale, drop back. Good. Move the blocks out of the way. Hands to your mat, spread out the fingers. Tuck your back toes. Push into the foot, walk the knee forward. Retuck the toes, come into plank. Push into the top of the right foot. See if you can find that. Pick up the belly. And then step it down. Good. Pedal it out. Hold your hands. Everybody's okay? Good. Good. All right. Come on down over the knees. Good. Take your knees as wide as the mat. If you want your knee pads, you can get your pads. Put the pads outside the mat. If you know you can go wider than the mat and stretch. Start out about as wide as the mat, maybe just on the pads outside of the mat. Okay? Bring elbows to the ground. You can move the blocks away for the moment. Bring elbows to the mat. When you line this up, you should have your hips about behind the knees just a little, and your elbows maybe 8 to 12 inches in front of the shoulders. Okay, so you're pretty long, a couple feet, maybe 3 feet between elbows and knees. Okay, put the hands together, pinkies line up, the middle 3 fingers interlace. Try to keep pinkies long, thumbs long, so we can push the pinky side of the hand down without pushing it. Okay, bring your body forward. Push down through elbows, try to pick your ribs up in the shoulder girdle. Bring your feet toward each other. Toes don't touch, but they're in. Try to flatten the whole top of the lower leg down, ankle and everything down into the mat. Use that to help pick your low belly up higher. Pushing your elbows more, try to spread the muscles in the back. Spread your shoulder blades out, inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to unround the spine piece by piece. So first lumbar spine. Pubic bone starts reaching back, unround the lumbar spine. Keep your low belly engaged. Then drop your chest down into the shoulder girdle. Good. Really let shoulder blades come together, let chest release. Okay? Now push into the tops of the feet just a little bit. Pick up the low belly, pick up pelvic bowl first. Then push through elbows, pick your ribs up into the back body. Then pick up pelvic bowl a little more, keep rounding. Inhale. Don't close sitting bones. Knees should pull mat apart, not together. Unround low body first. Pubic bone reaching back, low belly still in. Drop chest down into the shoulder girdle. Let the head drop. Start sitting back like that. Think of scraping the belly on the floor, the ribs on the floor. Try to sit back as far as you can into that hip stretch. Keep elbows on the mat. Forehead can touch down if you can. Keep your toes in, heels a little out. Tops of the ankles pressing softly down. Inhale. As you exhale, try to push the whole shin down into the mat to engage quads a little and to lift hips a little. No glutes. Pick up your low belly. Keep forehead into the mat. Chin tucks up into your own throat. Inhale with hips that elevated just a little. Exhale. Notice if your neck or shoulders are helping. Don't let them. Knees pull the mat apart. Sit back down deeper into that stretch. Try to bring hips as far back on the mat as you can. One more time like that. Push down into the whole top of the shin. That's your quad, the top of the leg, flexing, pulling. Okay, then pick up low belly a little bit. Knees still pulling the mat apart. Elbows open, shoulders open, chin in. Inhale. As you exhale, let your hips sit all the way back, deeper into that stretch. Bring your forehead back on the mat by an inch. Like a little dog pushing its nose forward into something. I want you to feel like you're pushing the mat forward, dropping chin back to sit back deeper. You need to walk elbows back a touch, walk elbows back just a touch. Try to sit back deeper. And then to come up, push into the whole shin, use quads to lift hips, suck the belly up, and push into elbows, pick up head, pick up ribs, bring the whole thing forward nice and flat, and then shift way past your hands. Really get forward. Push down through the entire forearm, including pinky side of the wrist. Pick your ribs up higher. Suck the belly up higher. Knees pulling open. Good. Start sitting back. Stay that high with everything. Reach your hips as far back as you can. Keep tops of the feet pressing. And then sit all the way back. You're going to pop right back up. Keep the spine flat as you come all the way forward. Try to keep the ribs domed. Top of the head forward. You can let hips drop. And then pick it back up, go all the way back. Good? How are we doing? Nobody's hurting. All right, bring it up. Okay, keep the knees wide. Maybe even take them a little wider if you have that. And keep your feet aimed in. Let's think frog here. Try to take the knees wide. Let your belly drop a little. You're going to keep your belly engaged, but let pelvic bowl come down. So it's not flexion in the back. You can keep the belly a little engaged. Try to sit back like that in that groin stretch, hip stretch. Keeping the feet in makes the stretch a little different. Think of rolling heels out, toes in. Opening that IT band a little bit more. If you feel like you're really stuck here and you can't release, you just need to put something under your belly so you feel like you've got a boundary. Good. Breathe. Try to feel your low belly is pulling out of the front of the hips. Start coming forward. Push through elbows. Pick the ribs up. Walk the knees in. How are we doing? Okay, tuck the toes, elbows close together now. Still pretty far out in front of the knees. Push down through the thumb or the pinky side of the hand. Pick ribs up a little, take it back. Now you're going to push into the feet, pop hips back and up, bring your head back through the arms if you can. And then walk your heels in if you need to. Try to drop heels toward the mat a little bit more. Okay, keep using your forearms like they're sliding the mat forward to bring your chest back, hips back. Breathe. Neck should be in line with the spine. Think of picking up the right hip. The foot will hover above the mat. Good. Then lengthen your legs straight back. Keep the quad engaged. Open up the hip if you can. Good. And bring it back down. Keep the quad engaged, flex the foot on the way down. Switch, pick up your left hip. Both quads engaged, lift quad off the knee, bring it back. Open up the hip. Head back, chest back. Bring it back down. Foot into the mat, head comes through the arms, bring your knees down to the mat. Sit all the way back with toes tucked. Drop your head back, keep your elbows stuck to the mat. Try to suck the belly backwards, pulling back out of the shoulder girdle. Breathe. Put a little bit of pressure into the toes, like you're going to lift your hips. Suck the belly up a little bit higher. Try to dome the back to pull back further. And then come all the way up. Good. Launch your hands. Keeping the toes tucked. Walk your knees back to get more of the toes tucked. Don't let the toes just slide. That doesn't work. You want more of the foot tucked under. Okay, once you have that, try to sit back into that foot stretch. Maybe you have to go a little gingerly if your feet are tight, your hips are tight. Okay, let's go into the hands. Flip your hands backwards. If you want to do one at a time, you can do that. If you don't want to do this for as long, you can certainly shorten it, come into child's pose, whatever. Put a baby bend in your elbows. Spread the fingers out without lifting the base of the hand. Hands should be about as wide as your mat. Okay, keeping elbows a little soft. Think of pressing into the knuckles of the hands. They won't want to because they're stretching, but that's what's going to lift ribs up and spread shoulder blades for you. Then pushing the feet a little bit, like quads are going to flex and pick you up. Suck the belly up. Notice if you close sitting bones, don't do that. Heels open a little, knees pull the mat open, lift the belly more, drop the head. Sit your hips back down, but keep belly lifted. And then go the other way. Drop chest into shoulder girdle. Let your belly hang out. Keep it going even down. Good. Roll back in your right hand. Bend the fingers back. Keeping the fingers bent back, can you roll toward the index knuckle more? And then roll toward the pinky side more. And then roll back down through the hand. Left side, roll back. Notice if your hips are gripping, let them go. Roll to the index knuckle more, and then the pinky. Roll it down. Good. Go ahead and pick up your hips out of the foot stretch. Good. Okay, bend your elbows back, shoulders back. If you tuck, it's going to send you forward on your face. You're going to face plant. So no tucking. Keep hips reaching back. Shoulders pulling back, elbows bending. How far down can you come? It deepens your hand stretch, so don't kill yourself here. Okay, once you're at your deepest hand stretch, suck the middle abs up round. Drop head, drop tail, pick up your middle abs. And then flatten it back out. Hips back, ribs open, chest forward. Do it again, round it up, little cat-cows. Inhale. Exhale and flatten it out. Sit all the way back to your feet. Roll one at a time, slowly out of your hand stretch, come to knuckles. Roll out of the hand stretch, come to knuckles. Make sure you don't tuck the fingers all the way in and squish the top knuckle. Keep fingers flat. Okay, walk your hands forward a little bit. Shift forward again, keep the thumb out in front. Shoulder blades are back, serratus engaged. Pick your ribs up higher. Think of pulling heels apart, knees apart a little bit. Suck the belly up higher. Let the back muscles open more. And then flatten it back out. Sitting bones back, chest dropping down. Sit back on the heels. Good. Hands come to the mat. Those 10 fingers, see if you can pick the knees up. Stay high on the toes. Heels up. Good job. Okay, sit your hips all the way to your heels. Keep the hips released. Good. Knees hug in a little bit. Heels can be open just a touch. If you can get your sitting bones to touch the heels, that's ideal. If not, just sit into whatever hip stretch you have. Just don't lift the hips up a lot. If your sitting bones and heels can touch, use heels to open sitting bones a little. Even if they can't, open heels just a touch so that inner foot's parallel. Suck your belly back. Let your tailbone drop toward the mat. Okay. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly drop your heels toward the mat. Let your knees drop forward. Keep your chest connected to the thighs. And then bring it back up. Pushing the toes. Hips drop under, heels, knees up. Do it again. Heels drop back, hips drop back. Chest and shoulders and knees come forward. Pick it back up. Just working the feet here. Body's a little ball over the feet. Good. One more time. Heels drop back, hips drop back. And bring it back up. Good. Bring your body up. See if you can find your balance. Come to 2 fingers. Knees hug in. Heels a little open. Lift your low belly up. Keep your weight forward. Your toes put the brakes on. You can't lean back. Nothing will keep you from falling. If you can find your balance, you can bring your hands into prayer. Elbows wide. Core pulls up inside open ribs. Getting longer. Breathe. Very nice. Bring hands back to the mat. See if you can press into your feet and bring it all the way up. And then drop heels down to the mat. Feet should be talking. Hands out in front. Let's walk the feet wide. If you need to stick to your mat, instead of being on the wood, you can turn sideways to face me. If you feel like your feet will stick to the wood enough, then just open the feet here. Okay? I want your heels a little wider than your toes. Hands are going to walk out in front of you. Hands are past shoulders, hips are back past heels a little bit. So it's almost like a wide leg down dog. Heels are past toes. Then start bending the knees a little. Keep the belly dropped, chest dropping. See how far you can bend the knees. Feel your hips. But open the knees, roll to the outer foot a little bit. You should feel outer lower leg. And then re-straighten the legs. Everybody could be a little longer. Walk your hands forward. Feet a little wider. Good. Try it again. Heels wider than toes. First of all, let's check in with the chest. Can you pick your ribs up out of the shoulder girdle and drop the chest back down? You should kind of be in plank with your upper body. Arms stay straight. Pick your ribs up. Drop your chest back down. Keep the chest dropped down. Now bend the knees. Good. That's different and better. You all look better. Hips drop back. Don't drop your chest down anymore. Good. You should feel hips, thighs. Good. And then start re-straightening the legs. Good. So you can come down to elbows without lifting heels. All right, got a couple takers. Bend the knees a little bit here. Good. Inhale, open your knees. Exhale, bring it back up. Good. Push back into hand. Heel toe it back in, or you can hop it in. Very good. All right. Okay, roll back down over toes. Come back to your knees. How are we doing? All right. Okay. Go ahead and come to sitting now. I'll face you. Take your left leg, tend both knees. Take your left leg, bring it underneath the right, and I want your knee to be in the middle of the body. Okay? Then bring your right foot across that. Your right foot plants outside the knee. Okay? So left leg, knee in the middle, right leg across. Bring the hands to the knees, suck the belly back, tailbone under. I want your back to round. Then keep your left hand on, bring your other hand behind you, tend to your fingers, and twist softly with a rounded spine. Okay? Yes. If you want to go deeper, you can bring the elbow across the knee, pull the knee across your body. Focus on the twist in the lower half right now. Don't twist head, neck, don't sit up tall into your twist. I want you to round in your twist. If you're not used to twisting with my class, most people use their back. Muscles in the back can't twist. They get stuck. The muscles in the front can. So suck the belly back, rounding, then find your twist. Breathe. 2 more breaths. Bring it back to the center. Bring your bottom leg forward. Top leg is going to come in toward a half lotus. Knee dropping toward ankle. Good. Too much?
Or with some modification.
Can't quite get there. Don't bring the foot up as far. Keep it out in front. Or you can take the other leg out from underneath and just drop it in your split here. Okay? That's where you're living. That's fine too. Okay? Find your stretch. Come over the leg that's stretching. So you're going to bring your chest forward toward that stretching. Good. So it's going to turn into a bit of a half lotus if you're difficult in this stretch. Breathe. Reach the arm out in front. Both arms. And bring it back up. Okay. Switching legs. Gonna bring your right leg underneath. Knee right in the middle of the mat. Left leg across. Good. And twist toward it. So if you're used to really pulling it into your chest, try to drop back. Try to round away and feel your core suck away. Tent the fingers behind you pretty far back, tailbone under a little bit. So you really have the low back rounded. Then try to twist from your core, keeping rib cage and pelvis apart. Inhale. Exhale, don't straighten the back to twist, round your back to twist for now. Try to pull the knee further across the body as you twist. Exhale, suck the belly back, roll the shoulder back. Now untwist the upper body, roll that back shoulder forward a little. Then pull the leg further across. Good. Suck the belly back out of the front of the hips. Then re-add the upper body twist, roll the shoulder back. And come on out of it. Good, from here, just pull that foot in, drop the knee forward. Good. Or if not, if that's not gonna work, you pull bottom foot forward. Good. If that's still not gonna work, you just get that leg out of there and either be in half lotus or just put on the floor. Okay, but if you can come to half lotus with knee to ankle, try that. Turn your body toward the leg, come down diagonally toward the leg with the ribs. Hands can reach out in front, drop your head, breathe. 2 more breaths here. Last one. And bring it back up. Good. Not so much for lotus, alright? Alright. Grab your orange bolster. Bring that to the middle of the mat. Take 180-degree pose, which is just basically the splits, legs out to the side. Bring the bolster into the groin. That's it on my block. Okay. Alright. Open your legs as wide as you can reasonably. Okay. And then put the bolster right up against the groin. Think of holding onto your bolster and then your sitting bones in the mat that you're sitting on, let those roll under you. So let your low back roll back. Good. Try to suck the low belly back out of the front of the hips and then roll your legs forward. Good. Now roll them back. They should be easy to roll. Don't use the quad and hip flexor to do it. Roll the legs forward and then roll them back. One more time, roll forward. Keep low belly sucked back. Lift up. Come long over your bolster as far as you can. Pull the bolster into pelvic floor. Serratus, pull shoulders back, top of the head forward. Inhale in. If you're really flexible, you'll even feel that hips almost lift up and back. Keep leaning back. Keep pulling serratus back, top of the head forward, lengthening the spine forward. And then roll the legs back, roll tailbone under, suck your belly back. One more time, come long over the pillow, pull serratus back, roll legs forward. Let's flex feet here. Think of flattening the backs and knees into the mat like you're going to push down and pick your core up to come forward more. And then let that go. Good, bring it back up. Okay, bring your right elbow onto your bolster. Try to bring it across as far as you can. And then bring your left hand on top of that. Elbows should stack up so you're one straight line from elbow to elbow. Push down with top hand into bottom hand to lift your ribs and twist. Breathe. Keep chin in, neck long. Shoulders are away from ears. 2 more breaths. Think of inner spiraling both legs. And think of outer spiraling the legs as you twist. Good. And bring it back to the middle. Switch. Left elbow comes all the way across as far as you can get it. Hand on hand. Prayer. Right elbow on top of the left. Push down with the top hand. Pick your ribs up off the pillow as you twist. Chin in, top of the head forward. Suck the belly up out of your low back. Try to engage quads here. Pull toes back with muscles on top of lower leg. Push down through the back of the legs. Lift your low belly up as you push top hand into bottom. Let that go. Roll legs in. Roll them out. And come out of your twist. Good. Now we go. Still living. Bring soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana on top of your bolster. Bolster right up against the groin or pelvic floor, depending on your stretch. Okay, match up each toe, pinky to pinky, ring to ring, middle to middle, all the way to big toes. And then wrap your hands around the bottom of the feet. Okay, elbows pin your shins down, not in front right now, just pin them down. And I want you to pull your feet up toward you. You're purposely trying to stretch the outer lower leg, maybe even into the IT band. Now keeping that, feet much further forward. Good, elbows on your shins. That's it, and just pull feet up. That's your leverage. Elbows have to glue shins down. Now let your lumbar spine round. Low belly sucks back. Good, keep your low belly lifting out of the pelvic bowl as you pull feet back. Maybe even feel the back of the hips open more. Inhale. Exhale, little lift in low belly, soften low back. Good. Now bring your elbows in front of your shins if you can get there. Pull back on the shins from the serratus, from underneath, shoulder blades pulling back, top of the head reaching forward. Ribs as long on your bolster as you can get them. Find your breath, inhale. Exhale, you can softly lift feet. And then let the feet go. Hold on to your bolster instead. The ball of the feet are into each other, open your toes. Think of pushing pinky side of the foot into the mat. Heels almost want to lift up off the bolster. Push the mat forward with your feet. That should engage quads a little, like you're straightening the legs. Suck your low belly back away from bolster. At the same time, oppose that. Serratus pull back on the shins. Elbows pull back. Top of the head forward. So ribs are going forward, hips are trying to roll back. And release. Good, roll it all the way up. Good. Bring your left leg out to the side. Keep your right leg on your bolster. Good. Try to get your leg away from the bolster so that you have a little space there. Okay. Go ahead and put one finger inside of each toe. Use your opposite hand of the foot. Try to get in there like yogi toes. All the way in there with your fingers. Good. Just going to play with the foot a little bit. You can lean on elbow on the knee, especially if your knee's up high. You're going to put the fingers into the knuckles, bend the toes back. And put the base of the hand into the knuckles, bend the toes forward. Keep them bent forward, pull the foot up a little bit, and pull back down, and just roll through the ankle soft. Just wake up the foot. Spread your fingers to spread your toes. That's a movement you want to be able to do in yoga, and take your hand out. It should be kind of awake. Okay, from there, let's hold on to your bolster. Low belly draws back a little, sitting bones roll under, and then you're going to roll the straight leg in. That should just come from rotators. It should be an easy movement. Roll it in, and roll back out. Good. One more time, roll in. Lifting low belly out of pelvic floor. Get long as you come forward over your bolster. Pull the bolster back into you to come forward into your stretch. Try to make sure this foot's wide enough so you can roll forward. Bring the front of the hip to the bolster. Keep lengthening your ribs past that hip. Wrap the foot of the stretching leg around the bolster. Breathe. Think of that straight leg as rolling forward. That hip is rolling forward. And the hip that's on the floor is almost trying to pull back. Roll the straight leg back. Suck your low belly back. Lift out of the stretch. And then come right back into it. Roll straight leg forward. Core gets long as you come forward. Try to get an extra inch or two of length there. Good job. And bring it up. Walk it over toward the stretching leg. You can put blocks there. And put elbows on the blocks. Funny little twist. So you've got your right leg on your bolster, so you're going to turn right. Your blocks should line up parallel with the leg. Okay? And then elbows on your blocks. The back hip is going to roll toward your bolster at first. And try to push down through elbows, pick your ribs up a little bit. Yep, just like that. Bring blocks a little further this way toward me. That's it. You can hop that hip under you if you don't feel like you're in the twist ready. Then roll sitting bones under. Suck the belly back. You can even bend the back leg. Lift your ribs up and then pull back forward. Do it again. Roll the sitting bones under. Pick the belly up and roll back forward. Good. And come out of your twist. Good. Open your leg, the straight leg into the widest split you can get to in this shape. Bring your hand, palm of the hand to the foot. Same hand, same foot. Elbow pins your shin in place. Your other elbow can come inside the leg or you can hold the foot. You're going to try to bring that shoulder past the hip, past the foot. Okay? And try to find that stretch in your hip. If you're easy there, you can bring your elbow inside your foot and maybe find prayer. Elbow to the foot, other elbow to the knee, and lengthen forward that way. Wherever you're at, breathe, find your stretch. One more breath. Think of moving your body toward the straight leg. Bringing that right shoulder forward and across toward the straight leg, toward the left leg. And come back to the center. Good. Bring the elbow inside the straight leg. And bring your other arm open, twisting toward the bent leg. You should feel a little stretch in your side. Bring your arm overhead. Maybe that's where you're going to lift. Yep, you should feel it in the hip here. Good. If you want to go deeper, you can slide the arm forward and reach for your outer foot. Wherever you're at, breathe. One more breath. And bring it back up. Okay. Come back to Baddha Konasana in the middle. Soles of the feet together. Bolster right up against the groin. Try to get elbows to the front of the shins, hands to the bolster. Okay. At least hands to the bolster if you can't get elbows in front of shins. And very softly elongate spine by lifting low belly and then pull yourself forward, stop. If your elbows are in front of your shins, you can pull back on your elbows a little bit to bring the ribs forward. Top of the head is forward, chin is up into your own throat, long neck. Lift your low belly a little bit, soften your back. Breathe. One more breath. And roll it up. Move your blocks to the other side. On your way. Second side. Bring your right leg out to the side. Left leg stays on the bolster. Think of one straight line from knee to toe, parallel to the top of your bolster. Okay. Let's go ahead and one finger between each toe with the opposite hand, opposite foot. Play with that foot, wake the foot up a little bit. Okay. From there, fingers come into knuckles, try to bend the toes back a little. And go the other way, base of the hand into the ball of the foot, bend the toes forward. Keep them bent that way, you should see one straight line across. Pick your foot up towards you. You can put a little pressure down in the knee. You're trying to stretch out our lower leg, trying to stretch the foot. And make soft circles through the foot. Keep your low back soft, hips released. Sitting bones are under you. Okay. Okay. And open fingers to open toes. Let it go. Okay. All right. From there, let your low belly suck back. Your hands can hold onto the bolster so you don't fall back. And then roll the leg forward. Should be easy if you've got that low belly separated from hip flexor and muscles in front of the hip. Roll it open. One more time, roll forward. Low belly lifts. Start coming forward, long over your bolster. Pull the bolster into you. Keep rolling the straight leg forward. Try to inner spiral that leg. Keep reaching the toes away. Heels stuck to the mat. That'll give you more length. Okay, lengthen the ribs forward over the leg. Wrap the toes of the stretching foot around your bolster. Breathe. Should feel like that straight leg hip is rolling forward, while the hip that's on the ground almost feels like it wants to pull back out from under ribs. Okay, roll the straight leg back, suck the belly back, round, and then do it again. Roll straight leg forward, lift your low belly, come long over the bolster. Good. Breathe. And roll it down. Good. Twist toward the bent leg. Put your elbows on your blocks. Okay. You're going to hop your hip under a little bit further back away from blocks if that helps. And then you're going to use your blocks, pressing through elbows to pick up ribs a little bit. Roll sitting bones under your back and you can even bend a little. Suck the belly up out of the hips. And then roll back forward, get longer. Two more like that. Roll sitting bones under, push through elbows, suck the belly up. And then roll back forward, getting longer. Last one, push through elbows, sitting bones under, suck the belly up. And then back forward into your stretch. Good. And bring it up. Go ahead and open your foot out into the widest stretch you can. You can go 180-degree pose. And then your left hand is going to hold the foot. Elbow is going to pin the shin in place. Your forearm and shin run that same line. Try to think of pulling this knee, this foot behind you, and your shoulder past it, like you're going toward that straight leg to stretch between the legs. You can use your other hand to hold the outer foot if you can reach there, or you can put elbow inside the knee, or just reach forward. Okay? If you've got a deeper stretch, you could put elbow inside the foot, hands in prayer, other elbow inside the knee, and pull your chest forward using the prayer. Okay? Wherever you're at, you should feel a stretch in that hip. Find your breath. One more breath. Keep trying to think of that left shoulder coming forward, past the leg, past the hip, to the straight leg, to the right. And bring it back up. to where you started from. This time we're gonna try without your bolster unless you need it. Come into 180-degree pose. You can either keep the bolster or get rid of it. If it helps you come forward, then keep it. Okay? If you don't need it, then you can get rid of it. Okay? Hands to the mat if your bolster's not there. Hands on your bolster if it is. Think of inner spiraling legs a little. Lift your belly up. Come forward as far as you can over your bolster. If you can go to the mat, come down to elbows first, and you can even come down to hands, forehead on the mat if you've got that stretch. Wherever you're at, find your deepest stretch here. We're going to be here for 3 to 5 breaths. Pull the toes back to you with the muscles in the tops of the lower legs if you want to add. Think of your quads lifting away from the knee, pushing the backs of the legs down into the floor. Lift your low belly out of that, like you're going to lift up off the mat. You can push your elbows and lift core too, very engaged. And then let that go. Lengthen your ribs further forward out of the hips. 2 more breaths on your own. And then bring your body over to the left side. Try to bring the shoulder inside the leg. If that's not going to happen, put the elbow inside the leg. Reach your arm overhead. Stretching out of that right hip, right medial glute. If you want to go further, it's shoulder inside the leg, hand to outer foot. Chin, whichever side you're on. Breathe. Think of spiraling your legs forward, inner spiraling legs and shoulders forward, suck core back, and then roll everything open again. And bring it up. Go the other way. Either elbow inside the knee, opening up the chest and arm overhead. Or if you want to go further, you can slide the arm forward, shoulder inside the knee, arm overhead to outer foot, and rolling back over that leg. Breathe. Try to roll your shoulder blade forward, elbow forward, inner spiral both legs, and then roll it all back open. And bring it up. Very nice. Bring the feet into Baddha Konasana without any props. No help. Soles of the feet together. Elbows in front of the shins. You want about 2 feet between pelvic floor and your heels. Okay, very softly pull back on your shins with your elbows. Top of the head forward. Heels reaching into each other. Low belly lifting out of the hips. Breathe. Try to find serratus and middle abs connecting. So as your serratus pulls shoulders softly back, your middle abs lift up out of the pelvic bowl. And roll it up. Good. How are we going? Moving? Stretch? Alright. Let's go ahead and turn sideways. Grab your bolster, put it under the legs. When you get there, we'll use it in a minute. Grab your blocks, put them behind you for a little bit of shoulders and hands. Actually, I'm lying. We're going to do shoulders different today. We haven't done this in a long time. Get rid of all that stuff. Totally lying. Alright, roll over on your belly. Okay, if you've never done this, this is pretty deep shoulder stretching. Pigeon for the shoulder is the first one we're going to do. Now lay on your belly first. Bring your whatever arm will make you facing me. I'm going to bring my left arm out to the side. You guys bring your right arm out to the side. You guys. And you guys do left. So you want to be facing me. Okay? Other arm. Switch arms. Yeah. Arm goes straight out to the side. That's it. And then turn your head away from the outstretched arm and put temple of the forehead down on the mat. So you two, switch arms. Yeah. You need to switch arms too. So you can face me. You got to see what's going on.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Other hand is in close to you.
Palm down or up on the extended?
The extended arm is palm down. And it should be one straight line out from your shoulder. Okay? Alright. The extended arm, you're going to roll that shoulder blade back off the mat. Feel your serratus engaged. Keep hips heavy in the mat. Don't squeeze anything except for serratus, and then roll it forward. Do it again. Roll that shoulder back. Feel serratus. Keep ribs heavy in the mat, and then roll it forward. One more time. Roll that shoulder back. Roll it forward, leave it rolled forward. Now we're going to make the same motion while you're in the stretch. So I want you to feel that rolling the shoulder forward and back feeling. It's easy here, right? Okay, bring your hand nearest me back. Tuck the toes nearest me, and you're going to roll back onto the stretching shoulder. Okay, pigeon for the shoulder, basically. Bring your top leg behind the bottom leg. Bring your bottom leg forward. Top hand close to you. This foot and this hand are getting ready to wait there. Bring your hips forward. See if you can deepen that stretch. Okay? You can let your head lay down. Good. Okay, from there, you can bring your bottom leg in if you have a deeper stretch and bring your tail under a little further. Okay? How we doing? You can outstretch both legs if you'd rather. If you already got a stretch, you can just outstretch both legs. Use this hand to softly push you back in your stretch. Everybody feels that shoulder stretch, I assume? Okay? If you're good, stay there and work on just rolling out of the stretch enough to roll the shoulder back off the ground. And then roll the shoulder forward, roll back into your stretch. Just getting any amount of movement in that shoulder blade is good. Roll out of the stretch, roll your shoulder back, inhale. Roll the bottom shoulder into the mat, roll back into the stretch. Suck the belly back, ribs back. Okay, one more time. Roll out of the stretch, so on to that side. Roll the shoulder back off the mat, inhale. Roll the shoulder into the mat, suck your ribs back as you roll back into the stretch. Any amount of movement in that shoulder blade is good. Okay. If you want to go deeper, you can half lotus the back leg, and lotus both legs. Whatever works. If you're happy where you're at, stay there. Okay. If you want to go deeper another way, you can bring the arm up. Arm toward your face. Don't let it drop back here. Outer spiral the arm. So your bicep should face me. Then let the arm drop back. It won't go very far. Breathe. Keep your low belly sucked in. Low back is trying to be rounded, not arched. Good. Sweep that arm forward and up. Roll out of the stretch again. Roll the bottom shoulder back. Inhale. Reach through the toes. Suck the belly back. Exhale. Roll bottom shoulder forward. Bring that hand back a little to push you into the stretch a little bit. And then go ahead and roll all the way out. Onto the belly again. Now we go. That arm you just stretched, flip the palm to face the ceiling, bring it up your back to the middle of the back. Or as high as you can. Between the shoulder blades is the goal. Try to drop that elbow and shoulder down to the ground though. It's a counter stretch. Reach the right arm for the left, whichever arm is the other arm, forward. Okay. And then hips are heavy, ribs are heavy, everything's released. Inhale, long and soft, let your ribs fill. Feel the ribs opening, raising that hand up. Exhale till you feel the front ribs close softly down. And away from the mat. One more breath. And exhale. Close the hand into a fist. Open it up. And take it out from under you. Or take it off your back. Bring it up to your elbows. Okay, this one's a little tricky. The arm you just stretched. Bring that hand off the ground, palm facing it. Okay. Then bring that elbow across to your other elbow. So we're going to do a counter stretch for the stretch you just did. Bring your hand to the jawline on the same side, not across to the other side, same side as that shoulder is. And then you're going to use your chin on the wrist to bring it down. Reach the other arm straight ahead. You're trying to square your shoulders and your hips to the mat. You're basically trying to keep your arm folded in half, parallel to the top of the mat. Ribs can go a little bit back and away. And then keep the other arm straight forward. Feel the elbow of the extended arm and the shoulder of the stretching arm pull apart on the mat as you inhale. Exhale, feel your ribs softly close. Feel more weight come into that stretching arm. Inhale, feel elbow and shoulder pull apart. Ribs expanding sideways as you inhale. And exhale. Good. And come on out of it. Good. So you guys get that? We bent the arm back and then we brought it across the other way. Okay. I'm going to turn around so I can still face you. You guys are just going to switch arms. Extend your other arm out to the side. Good. You guys can turn around if you want to still face me, but now you get the idea. Turn your head away from the outstretched arm. Temple of the forehead on the mat. The other arm is bent. The outstretched arm, you're going to roll that shoulder back off the mat. Wrong shoulder, Dorothy. There we go. And then roll forward. Do it again. Roll that shoulder back. Feel your serratus under the armpit. And roll forward. Two more. Roll the shoulder back. roll forward. That's the same movement you're gonna make when you're in the stretch. Roll the shoulder back, and then roll forward. Good. Bring the hand nearest me, or the other hand up. Tuck the toes, roll onto the stretching arm. Good. Bring the top leg behind the bottom leg. Put it on the mat. Bottom leg forward. Top hand close to you. Try to hop the hip forward into that stretch deeper. If you've got an easier or a deeper stretch, you can bring the feet under you. Bring tail under a little more. Try to bring hips and ribs even further out of the shoulder girdle. Okay? If you want to lessen the stretch, outstretch both feet and just let your hips try to drop back. Use the front hand to softly push you into the stretch. Put your head down. Don't try to strain your neck here. Breathe. Okay, roll out of the stretch a little bit until you can roll the bottom shoulder head off the mat again. Inhale, don't flex your back here. Exhale, roll bottom shoulder into the mat, suck the belly back, ribs back, think of rounding your back as you drop back. Outstretch both legs if they're not already, because I see some people arching backs. Okay, roll out of the stretch to inhale, roll that bottom shoulder back. As you exhale, roll bottom shoulder forward, suck the ribs back like you're rounding the back as you come into the stretch. Okay? You can either do that 2 or 3 more times, or if you want to deepen it, you can half lotus the back leg, bringing it across to the front, or you can half lotus both legs. Finding your breath. Keep the belly sucking down. Okay. If you want to deepen it differently, bring the top arm straight up, palm facing out. Hand is towards your face. Outer spiral the arm so that inner shoulder, collarbone rolls back, then drop the hand back. Don't let your palm roll the other way and drop back. It'll go further, but that's not the point. Keep both shoulders trying to roll back, even the one on the ground. Suck the belly back a little bit. Breathe. Top of the head forward a little bit. And then sweep that arm forward and up on the mat. Roll out of the stretch a little bit so you can roll that bottom shoulder off the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, roll bottom shoulder into the mat. Roll back into the stretch. That top hand can come in a little to help push you back. Suck the belly back. One more like that. Roll out of the stretch. Bottom shoulder rolling back off the mat. Inhale. Bottom shoulder rolls into the mat. Suck the belly back into the stretch. Good. And roll all the way out of it onto the belly. Good. The hand you just stretched, you're going to flip over. Put it palm facing up on the back. Hopefully you can get it up between shoulder blades or somewhere in that region. It can be lower if it needs to be. Drop elbow and shoulder of that arm to the mat. Other arm reaches forward. Hips are released into mat. Tops of feet on the mat. Ribs released into mat. Inhale. Exhale long and soft. Let the ribs softly close and descend back down to the mat. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feel your ribs softly close. Ribs get heavier into the mat. Close that hand into a fist. Open it up. And come on out of it. Come on to your elbows. The arm you just stretched, you're going to bring the hand up, palm facing. Okay? Bring that elbow across to your other elbow. At this point, you can bring your ribs the other way a little bit if you want. You're going to bring the pinky side of the hand to the jaw on the same side. And then use your chin to come down. Bring the other arm forward. So your upper arm and lower arm are folded in half. They're parallel to the top of the mat, and you're trying to square chest, hips, ribs to the ground. When you inhale, the elbow of the extended arm and the shoulder of the stretching arm pull apart on the mat to open ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Chin in, neck long. Even the area in the collarbone releases and folds in half. Inhale again. Last breath. And okay. Roll over onto your back. Grab your bolster. Go ahead and put it under the legs. gonna do one quick twist. Move your body over to the right. You can use feet on the bolster to do it. You're gonna move your hips, I guess, over to the right on your mat. Bring your left leg to the middle of your bolster. Bring your right leg across, tuck your heel on the edge of the bolster to pull you into the twist in the hips. With your upper body, the left hand can come on top of the leg, but bring your elbow wide out to the side. The right arm you can bring up, palm facing in, shoulder blade, outer spiral, the arm outer spiral, and just reach. Suck the belly back. Think of tailbone being under a little as your low belly sucks pelvic bowl back. Once you have that, then you can bring the arm out to the side, keeping low belly pulled back. Maybe the arm is floating in the air, but your core is pulled back a little bit. So you don't have an arched low back. Breathe. Reach through the bottom leg. It should be strong. Good. Bring your foot back. Get on your own leg. Roll out of your twist. Good. Hips go all the way to the other side of the mat. Right leg in the middle of your bolster. Left heel hooks on the edge of the bolster to pull your hips back. You can pick that right hip up and bring it under you more if you want. Right hand holds on to the leg. Elbow wide so that the serratus are open. Shoulder blade is open on that side. Bring your other arm up. Outer spiral arm so palm faces in. Reach it back. Suck your belly back. Tailbone under a little because low belly sucks pelvic bowl back, rounding the lumbar spine a little bit. If you have that and you can keep it, then you can bring your arm out into the stretch, keeping low belly. There should not be an arch in your back here. Chin down, neck long, breathe. Reach through the bottom leg. Inhale. Feel the ribs expand here. Exhale, soften down into the neck. Bring your foot back, come out of the twist. Good. Legs over the bolster. Find your final resting position, wherever that may be. Arms facing, or palms facing up, spine, arms out to the side. Legs over the bolster feels good, tailbone long. Inhale, long and soft. Try to roll shoulders back a little so chest opens as you inhale. Hold that air in. Soften your low back, sink your low belly as you exhale. Let the ribs softly come back to the mat. Let everything go. Let the facial muscles release. Roll your eyes into the back of the head, in the middle of the forehead where the third eye lives. Try to feel a spreading across the brow, across the bridge of the nose, across the base of the tongue and the jawline, in between the ears and the base of the skull. Let everything go. On your next breath, hold the air in. Open the fingers, spread the toes. Reach the arms up and back, chin down, neck long, ribs open. And then exhale. One more breath like that. Inhale, ribs open, hands lift. Exhale and everything down. Roll the legs in, toes in. Roll them back up. One more, roll in. Roll out. You can either roll to one side, stack hips, stack ribs to sit up. Or you can just do a roll up. Arms come up, chin to your chest. One vertebrae at a time, rolling up. Low belly sucking back. Fold over your nose. Find a comfortable seat. If you want to do one try to find a seat where your spine can be long easily. Okay. So either cross-legged, sit on your bolster, whatever. If you want to take lotus or half lotus, log stacking, whatever you want to do. Okay. Same spiel as always. You're going to inhale long and soft. Let your ribs expand. Hold that air in for a count or two at the top. Start with an ah sound, jaw forward, come to oo, releasing facial muscles. Save enough breath for the to vibrate through your core as you completely empty the lungs. When you're totally empty, low belly lifted, try to flay your ribs back open again. And then you'll kind of gasp for air afterwards. Here we go. Inhale long and soft. Hands into prayer in the middle of the forehead or the third eye lens. Let your low back release, lumbar spine rounding. Seal in your practice. Thank you very much for coming. How are we doing? It's feel good?
Well, I'm thinking of it, I called Veronica, because I knew you were going to be away Saturday, so I asked her if she could give me a lesson there.
Oh, good.
She was sick, very
Oh,
sick.
yeah, she was sick last week.
So I wondered if you'd spoken to her to see how she was.
I didn't. I sent her a text before class, though. I'll check and see if she got back to me yet.
Oh, I asked her because